choices to be made.
Welcome. You are about to take a journey to a place of the divine love within with Deborah Beauvais on the Love by Intuition show. For the next hour, allow her to prepare you in becoming a magnet for a profound love-infused relationship by identifying and focusing on solutions through love. Awaken the light within and let your essence shine. And now, here's Deborah Beauvais on Love by Intuition, all part of the Dream Vision 7 radio network.
Welcome, everyone. Bonjour, mes amis. And yes, here I am, Deborah Beauvais, founder and owner of the Dream Vision 7 radio network. Now, if you're tuning in for the first time, we are 18 years old, which is exciting, and we are a Boston-based holistic radio station. With all the bells and whistles, you can listen to us online, in your cars, get our apps, ask Alexa to play Dream Vision 7 radio. No matter where you are in the world, we have listenership in Iran, all the different countries. You wouldn't think there would be listenership, but there is. So it's exciting to know that people are eager to hear what we have to say. And it's all about uplifting, learning how to heal within, and just, as I say, unity consciousness. Well, I wanted to do a shout-out because there is a barbecue place, Box Barbecue, and they are in Plymouth, Massachusetts, and we had a big before 4th of July party here, and we got the beef brisket, we got the pork, we had the coleslaw, all the trimmings, everything, chicken wings, and I have to say, number one, they accommodated us because it was kind of last minute, and at the same time, everybody raved about it. A lot of people love that coleslaw, so I wanted to do a shout out to them, Kurt and Janice Steinberg. He actually went to Johnson & Wales 30 years ago. He had been up the corporate ladder to executive head chef at some of the finest hotels in the country. And Kurt Steinberg, decided to start a restaurant and a catering service with his wife Janice right there in Plymouth, Massachusetts. So check it out. Even if it's a little drive, it's worth the trip. You can go on their site, Bark, BARK/BBQ.net. Again, Bark, BARK/BBQ.net. And their phone number is 508-720-2275, 508-720-2275, and you can ask for Janice. So it's Kurt and Janice Steinberg. So check them out, please. Okay, we have a fabulous show for you, and actually she is one of our hosts right on the network, and her name is Nancy OKeefe. She is a certified quantum human design specialist and an intuitive business coach who guides female entrepreneurs and service-based business owners to align their business with their soul's purpose so they can be in the ease and flow of who they truly are, attracting the right clients and flourishing in abundance. I don't know if everybody knows, but Nancy has an MBA from Babson College, and she is just a dynamo with her knowledge. And without further ado, and let me just say, this is a live show. Bob is in the house. He can put you right through. Our number is 833-220-1200. Again, 833-220-1200. Our topic is the Unapologetic Woman, and I want to know all about that. So without further ado, Nancy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Deborah. I'm so happy to be here. And I love that new barbecue restaurant in my hometown, Plymouth, Mass. I'll have to check that out.
Oh, yes. I knew you were from Mass, but I forgot about the Plymouth part. See, isn't that something? I mean, think about it. I mean, just think about it. Here I am doing a shout-out, not realizing that it's the same town that my guest lived in. So, you know, the universe does not make any mistakes, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
So, we're going to get into your show later and let people know when that is. However, let's talk a bit. Tell us about your journey and what brought you to awaken to your higher purpose. What was happening at that time? Do we go way back, or was it recently in this decade? Tell us about your journey.
It was fairly recently, within the last 7 years or so. I have spent most of my career helping to develop people in roles of leadership or as executives in their small businesses. I've been a small business owner since the mid-'90s, and I just believe so much in entrepreneurship. I think that's really the future. It's a way that people can bring innovation and express their creativity and, you know, really make a difference in the world. So I've always been about entrepreneurship. Recently, however, I stumbled upon, or rather the universe put in front of me, human design. That was about 2018, and it was complicated looking, and I frankly didn't have the time or the bandwidth to look into it, so I pushed it aside. And we all know how the universe works. If they want you to know something, they're going to keep hounding you until you finally take a look at it, and that is exactly what happened to me. It kept coming across my radar until I just couldn't ignore it any longer. And when I looked deeper into it, I was just blown away by it. I've always used assessments in my business, and the Myers-Briggs and DISC and some of the other assessments to help people understand their strengths and their talents and really help to develop those things in their businesses and their career. But, you know, once I looked at human design, I just frankly couldn't pigeonhole people into 16 types anymore, because human design teaches us that everybody is unique and we're all divinely designed with a sole purpose to be here on the planet at this juncture because we have something to contribute. And it's amazing the depth of human design, and I've been studying it now for the last 7 years. It's the exclusive tool that I use with my clients. It's amazing to see them be able to peel back the layers of conditioning that they've, really had all their life about who to be and get back to who they are, really come home to themselves. It's just a fascinating body of work, and I love helping clients with it.
Excellent. And so there are different categories within the business design, correct? The human imprint, as one would say. Yes,
there's actually 5 energy types in human design, and we can go into those if you'd like.
Yeah, even if you just touch upon each one for a couple of minutes, just so we can hear the difference, and then people can, maybe put themselves in whatever category they think they are.
Sure. The 5 types are designed to work together. What a concept. That's not something that we really are proponents of in our society. We kind of have a lot of competition, and really we're designed to really work well with one another. So the 5 types, I like to use the analogy that I was taught, which is the analogy of a Broadway play. So if you had the people that came up with the idea for the storyline and perhaps even wrote the script, they start the ball rolling. Those are the manifestors. They're here to initiate, to get things going, and to inspire the rest of us. And then the next group is the generators. There are 2 flavors of generators, and the generators are the worker bees, the energizer bunnies of the world. And they're here to build the ideas that come from the manifestors into form, into physical form. So in terms of our Broadway play, they would design the costumes and the sets and probably be the actors that would perform the script. And then we have a second flavor of generator called a manifesting generator. Still a generator, but a speedy generator. So I like to use the fable, the tortoise and the hare. If you think of the tortoise, slow, methodical, systematic, gets to the finish line, but while he's working to get there, the hare is up and back and around and all over the place. And that's really the difference between the pure generator and the manifesting generator. The manifesting generator is so speedy, most people can't keep up with them. Then we have the projectors, our fourth type. Projectors are here to guide and direct the rest of us. So guess what? In terms of our Broadway play, they would be the producers and the directors, helping us to put that play together and really act it out in a way that the audience is going to like it. They have penetrating energy, and they can see inside of us and help us with our potentials and our blocks. And finally, we have the reflectors. The reflectors are the audience in the play, and they are there to mirror back to us how we're doing with their applause or hopefully not their boos. And all together, when we work as a unit, we can get so much done when we honor what we all came here to do and how we're wired to operate in the world.
And so a lot of your work, the different courses and workshops, you're working with people first to find out about their chart, their human design chart, and then from there weaves everything else?
Yes, because we've all been conditioned all of our lives. Well-meaning parents told us what to do. Schools taught us what to do and not to do. Society, I mean, in the case of women, we're even told every season what fashions to wear. So there's a lot of conditioning, and what's occurred over our lifetime is that we have failed to be ourselves in a way because we are doing what we believe we need to do, what we should do, what we've been taught to do in the name of being accepted in society. And being accepted is a very deep cellular-based need. If you think back to the beginning of man, if you weren't accepted by the tribe, maybe you didn't eat, or maybe you didn't have protection from wild animals or other tribes. So being accepted is a very key part of our society. And in the name of acceptance, we often take some of the strengths and skills and uniqueness of ourselves that might not be as valued in society as others, and we kind of hide them. We put them in the background. And over time, we kind of forget that we've got these natural skills and talents. So human design helps us understand who we are, how we're wired, our strengths, our talents, our gifts, our soul purpose, what we came here to contribute to the world, and how we're wired with supportive energy to help us accomplish that task. And as we go through with clients and help them peel back the conditioning and get back to really who they are, it's really a remembering. People often tell me they feel so validated. They feel seen, first time they've felt seen in a while. So it's taking off the mask and really coming home to yourself. And once you do that, you know, it's really no holds barred. Go forward and be yourself, be innovative, be creative, express yourself. It's a whole different world when you're able to do that.
Right, and you become empowered, and with that empowerment, you start to create, and then before you know it, little things are coming down the path, and if you pay attention, I think it's so important to pay attention, then you can actually create a business, you can create anything that you choose to do based on what you're feeling and receiving. One of the things I wanted to ask you is when all of this started happening, and I know you're a widow as well as I, at that time, did you find when you started the human design, did you find that you were almost fearful to go down a path and create a business? I know you mentioned that you've been, an entrepreneur for years, but when this came along, were you fearful to start it, number one, and then two, Were you also excited? Was there a blend of both that showed you should choose this path?
I was not fearful. I knew right away that this was something that was powerful, amazing, and I was very excited about learning it. I still can't get enough. I'm 7 years into my learning, and I'm going to be learning about it for the rest of my life. I've never been scared to be an entrepreneur. I think that's kind of in my blood. One of the things about me is that I'm kind of a rebel. I've, really never done anything, much to my mother's chagrin, the way it was, quote, supposed to be done. But that's just who I am. And one of the most validating things for me was discovering that I am different. My chart does show me that. I'm innovative, and I'm, I think differently. I have energies in my chart that help me synthesize the way people think and help them see other possibilities. That's part of who I'm here to be. So excited, yes. Fearful, no. I've always been somebody who just jumped in and tried it. One of the things we talk about in human design is your profile lines. And I was a line 3 early in my life, and a line 3 just experiments. They never make a mistake. They try things. My friends used to have a nickname for me. They used to call me Sybil because I was always into something else. It was like I had multiple personalities. But I just love to try things. And, that experience is just how some people learn. People that have 3s in their chart learn by experimenting.
Yes, and when you jump into something like that, there's a difference, because there are some that will think about it and feel as though all the ducks need to be in a row, and this has to be done and that has to be completed, and your children have to be a certain age. And those pieces of that are important, of course, but jumping in, I admire you, because that's kind of the type of person I am too with business. I jump and then figure it out as I go along, and then you're in it, and now it's developing, it's thriving, and then more creativity bubbles up, and it's exciting to be able to do that. And I think you probably, when you think back, Nancy, you probably marvel at, wow, how did that happen? Or how did I go through this? Or gee, here we are today. Do you have those
Many
feelings
times.
at times?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think looking in the rearview mirror, it is, mind-boggling how much you can learn and accomplish in your life. And if you just are putting your head down and doing it, you don't think about it. You just do it. And then, in some fashion, you decide to reflect, or you're forced to reflect, and it's pretty, wow. It's eye-opening.
Yes, and exciting, and then you're doing something that is still work, but you're enjoying what you're doing, and you're making a difference, and that's the whole soul purpose, is to learn and grow your soul, and to make a difference in the world that we're in. And if everybody came from that place, imagine what could be done more than what has happened already, in a good way. So we have a few minutes before the break. I would like to get into the Unapologetic Woman. Tell us about that.
Well, the Unapologetic Woman is a term I coined to describe who a woman needs to be in this new era that we're entering. I'd like to just share about the new era first, and then I'd be happy to jump into the Unapologetic Woman. The official date for this shift, big shift in energy, is February 15th of 2027, when we are going to be moving from what's called the cross of planning into the energy of the cross of the sleeping phoenix. Now, we've been under the influence of the cross of planning since the 1600s. And, 400 years we have built and grown and fueled our world based on things like logic, growth, problem solving, structured paths, certain ways to do things, more of a masculine approach. And it's already happening, but the official date in 2027 will have us shifting to an energy that's more feminine-based, where we will be looking to align ourselves, to innovate, to really capture the individual self-expression, and to depend more on our inner wisdom and trust our own intuition than depending on outside structures and institutions. Now, we've already seen this change in play for a couple of decades. We see our education system changing. We see healthcare failing under the weight of COVID. We see a lot of shifts in the political arena, in religion. Things are already structures that were built, hundreds of years ago and even 50 years ago are beginning to crumble. They're not serving us like they used to. And the unapologetic woman is somebody who we need to think about becoming, because I think the Dalai Lama said it best when he said, the Western woman will save the world. And we've been hiding, we've been subservient, we've been, fulfilling our roles and, not necessarily stepping into our full potential in every area of our life. And that's what the unapologetic woman is all about. She's taking off the blinders. She's looking at the conditioning she's received, well-meaning or not, in all areas of her life. She's standing in her values. She's being her authentic self. She's really done being told what to do, what she can do, how to do it. She's going to break out and she's going to do what she knows needs to be done. She's going to depend on her own intuition, her own inner guidance, and she knows what she wants and what difference she can make, and she knows how to achieve it. She's going to step into being the leading lady of her life. Equal in all of her partnerships and relationships, impactful and respected in her work, very clear on her purpose. She's a leader. She's a force of quiet strength. She's unstoppable. And that's what the unapologetic woman is all about.
So just one quick question before we need to take our break is, do you feel there are unapologetic women already on the earth doing the work that you speak of, and more people, more women are awakening and feeling that energy and rising to their fullness? Absolutely. There are a lot of women out there that are already in the awakening stage, and they feel a calling to do more, be more. That's been happening. And I think that, it's going to continue to happen. And as we move into this new era, which, it's a couple of decades coming, and it's going to be a couple of decades on the other side of 2027 before we finally settle into it, because change takes time. But, my hope is that all women will wake up and come home to themselves and be whatever they want to be. And we've made some strides in that area, certainly since I had to go out and get a career in the 70s. But we haven't come far enough, and I think this is our time. This is when women will really feel supported and will step up and be everything they can be. Agreed. Totally agreed. Well, everyone, stay with us. We'll be back in a moment, probably in 3 minutes, more with Nancy OKeefe and the Unapologetic Woman.
Experience a different yet profound healing with Reconnective Healing. Includes yet expands beyond any and all known forms of energy healing. The Reconnective Healing spectrum is comprised of the full healing and evolutionary continuum of energy, light, and information. It allows for healings that are not just physical, not just mental, not just emotional, yet go beyond that to bring healing that includes the evolution of your very being and essence. Deborah Beauvais, trained and certified by world-renowned Dr. Eric Pearl, offers appointment hours at Seekonk Family Chiropractic in Seekonk, Massachusetts.
For questions or to set up both distance or local sessions, call Deborah at 508-431-1959. Again, 508-431-1959. Or go to lovebyintuition.com. That's lovebyintuition.com.
Calling all authors. Have you been considering an audiobook? Well, look no further. Come take advantage of Dream Vision 7 Radio Network's unique in-house audiobook production, which includes benefits and bonuses from our radio station. Let our knowledgeable staff guide you to create the audiobook you've always dreamed of without breaking the bank. Check out our full one-stop service from A to Z, including the ACX process. Schedule a free consultation by calling 508-226-1723. That's 508-226-1723. Or go to dreamvision7radio.com.
After narrowly surviving the attack on Sandy Hook Elementary, first grade teacher Caitlin Royd DeBellis was left searching for answers that would never come. Eventually, she chose to focus on questions that could be answered. How do I make sure this tragedy doesn't define us? How do we get our control back? Those two questions led her to found the 501c3 nonprofit organization Classes for Classes. When gifts poured into their classroom, she decided they would help someone else by paying it forward and being kind. This developed into a social network which allows K-8 classrooms to connect so that every student in the United States can learn these crucial lessons. Classes for Classes' mission is to build students' social emotional intelligence by connecting them to care. All C4C projects are crowd-funded. Any teacher in the U.S. can visit classesforclasses.org. That's classes, the number 4, classes.org. Sign up today.
Delight your kids with an enchanting journey by reading the Paper Doll Kids Children's Book by Deborah Beauvais and Janine Sullivan. There's even a catchy tune, Kids for Love Song, produced by Bob Sherwood and sung by kids just like yours. The story weaves around 7 paper dolls flying around the world doing good deeds as they bring important attention to our endangered animal friends. There's even a magical ring with a universal message. Kids become interested in service projects, action through compassion, and planting seeds that nurture positive change. The Paper Doll Kids and Kids for Love Song are a production of the Kids for Love Project. Get the book now on Amazon Kindle and the song on CD Baby or iTunes.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
And we are back, and there's still time to call in and talk with Nancy or I. Bob is in the house. You call in 833-220-1200. He'll put you right through, and we can have a chat. If you'd like to get in touch with Nancy, go on her site. It's Nancy OKeefe. OKeefe coaching.com, Nancy O'Keefe coaching.com. And if you would like to learn more through radio, Nancy's show, Business Success with Human Design, is heard every Thursday at 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. on our global station. You can listen to her right at 7, or you can go on to her archives and listen on demand. And you can also hear her podcast at any podcast directory or format that you like, whether it's iHeart, Podbean, Spreaker, Spotify is a big one. You'll find her show there, but we want you to come to our station and listen to her in real time, 7 and 7 on Thursday. We were talking about the unapologetic woman, and that I feel, and Nancy agreed, that there are actually women, and have been for centuries. I mean, when I think about the justice system, think about Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Much of what she accomplished is why women have the rights that they have. So if you're younger and you're not familiar with Ruth, you go on, just put in Ruth Bader Ginsburg and learn all about her. It's just phenomenal what she has accomplished, and many other people as well. So one of the things that I had in mind was the cross of planning and into the energy of the sleeping phoenix is where we're going, where we're headed. But how will that relate, or how will it relate to the fifth dimension? Will they be interacting with each other? Do you have an idea?
I don't know. At this point, we don't really know what the energy that is coming is going to look like in total. I mean, we have some clues based on the chart of the sleeping phoenix. We can see that the energy is, almost calmer, more collaborative. So I'm sure it's going to interact with that. I don't really know how just yet. I think the important thing to know as people here on the planet at this time is to open yourself up, really explore and awaken to who you truly are, and get yourself positioned by understanding all of your energies and your highest potential to really take advantage of and capitalize on whatever new things come down the pike. I think it's going to be wonderful, although we already see that there's challenging times around this change in energy, and I don't think that's going to stop. On February 15th, we're going to continue to, have issues as we transition, but the end result, everyone that I talk to in the circles that I travel with around energy agree that it's going to be a powerful time in our human evolution, and we're going to be, in a better position to live our full potential and contribute what we came here to contribute. There'll be less holding people back and more supportive and encouraging ways that they can be themselves and do what they came here to do.
Right. Well said, Nancy. I truly believe, too, everything that's bubbling up, and it's been bubbling up for some time, as we know, but really to a point where there's such division and so many things happening and hatred and all, and so many people are suffering, and many are exiting the earth when you think of Gaza and the Ukraine. However, this is all part of the way the world or the universe works, so that we can come to a place I really truly know from the fiber of my being that we will come to a place where we'll all be creating and helping each other and celebrating differences, and because we don't all want to be walking around as androids. We all want to celebrate the differences, because each person, as you've said, which is a fact, has their own soul purpose and has their own design. So we need to bring it all together. And I would just love to see a good portion of that before I leave the earth, but it is for those that are frightened and all. We can understand, but know that there's a better time coming.
There is, and everything is unfolding as it is meant to. It's just difficult to make these huge evolutionary shifts. And you mentioned differences. That is a key part of human design. When we look at charts, and I've looked at hundreds of them in the 7 years I've been studying, when we look at a chart, even the chart of twins who are born, a minute apart or seconds or whatever, we find that they're different people. They have different wiring, and we're all meant to be different. Unfortunately, in our society, we are more about conformity, and we are less in favor of sharing our differences. We, as you said, differences can even be hated, cause wars, when in fact this new era is going to point up the fact that we need everybody's uniqueness. I like to think of it as a puzzle. Have you ever done a jigsaw puzzle and you get to the last few pieces in the box and a couple of them are missing?
Yes.
And you just want to scream because you put 997 pieces together and you don't have the last few. Each piece is important to completing the puzzle, right?
Exactly.
So that's us. We're each a puzzle piece, and we need every piece to complete the puzzle of humankind. Unfortunately, we've made all the puzzle pieces similar. We don't look for the differences. We don't acknowledge them. We don't respect them. We don't use them in a way that can really help all of us. And that, I think, will be one of the key changes we see in the new era. That and the decision-making. All of my life, as far back as I can remember, and I'm sure before that, we were advised, told, taught to make decisions by thinking, to make decisions in our head. The fact of the matter is, human design shows us that not one type has the decision-making authority in their head. The head is for asking questions and for gaining clarity, but the body is where we make decisions. And it's about feeling into how you feel in different parts of the body. Every type has a different area that they use for their decision-making authority. And when we make choices based on our aligned authority, we're going to make much better choices for ourselves and the world at large than we do now by weighing the pros and cons and doing all the logical thinking and then choosing something we think we should choose, even if maybe it doesn't feel exactly right in the pit of our stomach. Those are two huge shifts, I think, that we're going to see with the new era.
I can see that. And how do you feel about self-love in whatever design we are and whatever we came to do here on Earth? The self-love seems, for me, that seems to be my work, is so key in order to see beyond ourselves, to see beyond what upsets us, to see what could be. And then the compassion, I think they go together. Once you find self-love, you have the compassion to go forth and create what it is that your sole purpose is. And then that brings people together. How do you feel about the love?
Absolutely.
And I think if everyone was able to, even those that are so far from love, if they were able to just connect for a moment and feel that light within us, that in itself would be a beginning for every human being.
Absolutely. And, a lot of the, I'll call it the not self in the love area comes from fear. From fear, comes from not feeling like they're accepted. Part of human design is based on the chakra system. And the chakra system has a lot in it about self-love and self-worth. When we look at the centers in a human design body graph, we can see a whole center is devoted to love and direction. And to your self-worth, the will center, and the G, or the identity center. So a lot of what goes on in human design has everything to do about awakening yourself and loving yourself. Not only loving the body and taking care of it in terms of it being the house for your soul, but also loving the soul and loving what you came here to do and honoring all the pieces of yourself. That's a huge part of it. You can't really love another until you get the self-love part down pretty pat.
Right. And that, it even goes back to the simple piece of being upset about a part of your body because it doesn't work properly, or it's not as beautiful as you thought it would be or should be with the way society is with women. And if you can just turn that around and start loving that particular part of your body, just that alone can fill you with that, that special sparkling feeling that you get when you experience love for self.
Yeah, and stop comparing yourselves to others. Because, again, we are all unique. No two people are the same. So comparing yourself to someone else is just, it's ridiculous. Don't do it. And, love and accept yourself however you are. That's important. And we have these images of women's bodies that we believe are the way we should look, when, in fact, if you go back to the art from the Renaissance and, other areas in history, women were not skinny minis.
Yes, good point.
And they were very well revered and loved, and they weighed a lot more than, what do we have, a size 0? What is that?
So what do you find, the clients that are coming forward to you, is there a common denominator from these women, that the need or the concerns they have, or what are you finding right now?
I find that most women are seeking clarity. They're confused, frankly, overwhelmed. We live in an information society, and there's a lot of telling you what you should look like, what you should be like, how you should work, what business you should have, how you should run it. And frankly, there is a right way to do business, but it's the way that's right for you and you and you. There's no one right way to do business. And I have a master's degree in business, and I'm here to tell you a lot of what I learned I don't believe anymore. Because
agreed.
There's a right way to do things, but it's the way that's right for you. And if you can, figure out what that is based on who you are and getting rid of some of that conditioning, you can be in a position to really shine in a way that feels easy. And it just flows, and it feels effortless.
Yes. I'm so glad that you said that, clarity, because that's what I see here as well. As far as the radio, people want to make a difference, put their message out, but sometimes they have other avenues that they're working on as well, and they can get scattered as to which one goes first, or in fact which one should be focused on, and let some other things go. What would you suggest, like when you are doing the business design with people, and I know you have a virtual 12-week transformative experience for women that we'll talk about when we come back from the break. You know what? It's time for a break anyway, Nancy, so bear with me. We're going to take that break, and we're going to find your answer when we come back. Okay?
Okay.
Stay with us. Back in a moment.
Take a journey to a place of the divine love within with Deborah Beauvais on the Love by Intuition Show, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. Eastern. Our message is love in the purest form. The light within us all is a guide to recall our beginning, to learn to love self and humankind, and to feel the higher power of our own divinity. To attract love, one needs to be loved. Come join us and step into this glorious vibration called love.
Delight your kids with an enchanting journey by reading the Paper Doll Kids Children's Book by Deborah Beauvais and Janine Sullivan. There's even a catchy tune, Kids for Love Song, produced by Bob Sherwood and sung by kids just like yours. The story weaves around 7 paper dolls flying around the world doing good deeds as they bring important attention to our endangered animal friends. There's even a magical ring with a universal message. Kids become interested in service projects, action through compassion, and planting seeds that nurture positive change. The Paper Doll Kids and Kids for Love Song are a production of the Kids for Love Project. Get the book now on Amazon Kindle and the song on CD Baby or iTunes.
Are miracles real? Can you move from mayhem to miracles? 30 prominent authors say yes as they share their high fives and down lows of challenges, abuse, addiction, and love. Experience hope, the magic elixir of miracles, through the personal stories of New York Times best-selling authors James Redfield, Dr. Bernie Siegel, Sister Jenna, Reverend Temple Hayes, and many more. If you like bestsellers, chaos to clarity, and crappy to happy, you'll love Crying and Laughing Through Mayhem to Miracles. Sacred Stories of Transformational Hope. Available now on Amazon and in bookstores worldwide.
It's a child's job to play, to learn, and to have fun. It's an adult's job to keep them safe. Did you know that 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will be sexually abused before the age of 18? Every day, families enter the Children's Advocacy Center because a child's courage to tell someone what happened to them. Keeping our children safe starts with a conversation. This is Michelle Aranger, Executive Director of the Children's Advocacy Center. Learn more on how to keep your child safe. Visit cacofbc.org. This message made possible by the Fall River Rotary Club.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
And we are back. And please do go to Nancy's website and see all the goodness that she's offering. It's Nancy OKeefe Coaching. OKeefe is OKeefe. NancyOKeefeCoaching.com. And listen to her show coming up every Thursday at 7 and 7. And I have to say, when Nancy started her show, just like everybody else, it takes time for it to grow and expand. And now her show is always, of all the hosts, in the top 3 every month. And that's because she has such insight, and you're listening. There's only one Nancy. There's only one Deborah. There's only one Bob. So when you think of it from that perspective, they have their own voice vibration. They have their own business design.
Right.
And they attract that particular design and voice vibration attracts a certain group of people. And that's how things have grown with Nancy in this last year. It's been amazing. So I love the show, and I love to hear how she explains things. So I thank you, Nancy, for gracing our airwaves with your wisdom.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I love doing the show.
Yes, thank you. So let's get back to the clarity. When we know, we've just said that that's one of the things you hear. I hear on this end as well. What do you share with them to help them? Say they come and they may have 4 or 5 things rolling around in their mind and they get confused. Then there's the outside noise, and then maybe they watch TV and they might have a crying child. So what would you suggest for them?
Well, the first thing that I usually talk to them about is their decision-making authority within their human design. So once they understand how to make an aligned choice and where to feel it in their body, they can begin to turn things around, because they can weigh each and every situation and feel into whether or not it's right for them. That makes a huge difference. It doesn't always bring you complete clarity, but it eliminates a lot of the things you don't need to think about anymore. So you can zero in on the ones that are the most important. And then typically we coach around that, and there's a lot of questions that can be asked of the client so that they can explore further how it might be to go down one path versus another. And, just that questioning and really helping them, guiding them through the thinking process and the feeling process into what's right for them is really the biggest part of it.
Yes, I like that. And I like the feeling part, because we really get in tune with ourselves when we allow ourselves to feel everything, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, to feel it, allow ourselves to go there. And then that helps with so many other decisions and choices. So I'm so glad that you cover that. Let's talk about, you have this virtual 12-week live transformative experience for women, which is all around the Unapologetic Woman and includes the business design chart, right?
Yes, it's actually a deep dive into your human design so that you can uncover your life's purpose, your business genius, all the strengths and the natural talents that you have, what you came here to do, and really get back in tune with yourself, and then be able to apply that to your business or your career so that you can, really make the most of your natural skills and talents and start to move in the direction of living in your highest potential. Now, not all of us can live in our highest potential 100% of the time. Life happens, and, we may slip back into the shadow side of things. But if you understand, every energy has a light and a shadow side. And if you take a hard look at how you're reacting and how you're behaving, and whether you're in the shadow or the light, you can start to move in the direction of the light and be there most of the time, or at least more than 50% of the time. And that's going to make a huge difference in your attitude, in your ability to recognize opportunity when it comes your way, in your ability to feel at peace, to have ease and flow in your life, to step into the abundance that the universe wants you to have. It makes a huge difference to get in tune with that for yourself.
Beautiful. And so this is, you sign up and you go through the process, and it's live.
It's actually live, yeah.
And you're interacting with everyone?
Yep, it's a live call every week. And we're almost finished up with the first cohort. We're going to be wrapping up by the end of July, and I'll be launching it again probably in January, because I've decided to launch a program about thought leadership in September, which I think is I feel like that's a really key part of the Unapologetic Woman, is stepping into a thought leader's role. And, frankly, I don't care whether you lead your family, your community, the people that live around you on the block, or, a multi-million-dollar corporation. It's all the same to me. It's being able to really step into that role of a leader and understand what that means in terms of helping to shape the thinking going forward.
Very good. So when is this that it's going to be in September? Will it be a virtual event as well?
Yes. All of my events are online events. I prefer to do them live. I do have recordings, but it's my experience that when you run a course that's pre-recorded and you don't have live interaction with it, most people don't even finish the course, which is a shame. So I would agree
with that.
Yeah. I like to meet with people every week, or whatever the course is. We also do a lot of work with implementation, because for me, it's great to have information. I love doing readings. I love helping people understand their chart. But if you can't apply it, you don't get as much benefit out of it. So the implementation piece of it is huge, and that's really one of the things I think separates some of my programs from some others. They're not just courses, and that's why I call them live workshop experiences.
I love that, and I totally agree that the interaction and voice-to-voice in real time is a huge bonus. Well, we have just a little bit of time. Is there something, and I want to know more about this thought leadership that you have created from your business design, and also there's a success codex, which is something that is fairly new in my understanding. Is that something that you've created as well?
I did not create it. I worked with the founder to become certified in it, and it's an amazing tool that you can use to see your path in 4 areas: how you make an impact, how you are built to grow your business, how you are built for sustainability and to get out of overwhelm, and how you handle transition and transformation. All key things that are important for business owners. And yes, that will absolutely be part of the Thought Leadership Program. So,
okay. So I love that you're actually doing the work to help people, help women awaken to every part of themselves and help move this energy forward in the unapologetic woman, between the cross of planning and the sleeping phoenix, all of that that's coming up in the next few years. You're a huge motivator for that, for lack of another term, so I thank you.
Well, it's my pleasure, and I learned recently, say within the last few months, that the energies of the new era, there are 6 keys in the old era, 6 keys in the new era. I have none of the keys in the old era. I have, I'm sorry, there's 8 keys in each era. I have 6 of the 8 keys in the new era. So I am definitely here to do this. This is why I'm here. I'm 72 years old. I'm evidently a late bloomer because my work is starting now.
Yes, and so it's a big celebration because you're choosing to go forward. You could learn all that, Nancy, and then back off and say, oh, I'm not getting involved with that. But you're jumping in, like you said.
That's me.
That's you. All right, I'm going to, just one line. What do you want to leave the listeners with?
I would love everyone to explore their human design. And if you do go out to my website, you can get your chart by just putting in your birth information. You can get a report. It's completely free, and it's a good place to start to get familiar with how you are divinely designed.
Perfect. Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been a pure joy, and everyone listening, share the show, listen to it again, because it's packed with information, wisdom, and things that you can apply to your life right now, today. And do get in touch with Nancy. Go to her site, NancyOKeefeCoaching.com. Check out this new leadership workshop that she's going to be doing online, virtually, live. Check that all out on her site, and please do listen to her show, Business Success with Human Design, every Thursday, 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. You can get our apps and listen wherever you are. You can ask Alexa to play Dream Vision 7 radio. You can be in the car, listen. Wherever you are, we will come with you. So before we go, when is the new leadership program that you're going to start? When exactly? That's in September, right?
I'm hoping to launch it for mid-September, yeah. So there'll be a lot more put out about it probably around mid-August.
Okay, very good. All right. Well, thanks again, Nancy, for coming on the show. It's been a joy.
Thank you, Deborah. I appreciate the opportunity, and it's always nice to speak with you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I love it. All right, everyone. As I said, share the show, get in touch with Nancy, and just make a difference in your lives. Even if you're, if it's a neighbor and that's all you can do, that is phenomenal. Do something to make a difference in the world, and it'll fill you up with love, and it will fill that collective on love, which is I'm all about. All right, until we come together again, au revoir.
Are you seeking a clearer path to love? Then tune in to the Love by Intuition show next week. All designed to your highest good. To contact Deborah Beauvais, owner of Empowered Connections, call her at 508-226-1723. That's 508-226-1723. 888-878-1723 or link on to lovebyintuition.com. Remember, we are all one, and we are all part of the miracle of love.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.